All right, guys, let's do a practice draft here. So I'm not going in with any idea in mind. I'm just going to look and see what we do, like a real draft, and figure out what we got. So Keyrune is okay. We can ignore the conjure currency. Ringleader's not good. Savage Surge, meh. Vassal Soul, meh. So not really anything amazing to start off with. Lava Crew's pretty decent. Centaur Herald is okay. Looks like we got some Selesnya cards, so some of this might table. I'll probably get one of these back. So we're going to take the Centaur Herald, getting a Centaur early on the board, and see what happens. So we might be going Selesnya here. Second pick, Phantom General, definitely good for our tokens. Sewer Shambler is pretty good. Annihilating Fire and Traitorous Instinct, good removal and good win condition. So we got some pretty decent red cards here. Hard to pass on the Krasda Guildmage. Personally, I don't actually like the Krasda Guildmage unless you have unless you're going Golgari, which we're probably not here. So actually, lots of good picks here, but we're going to take the Phantom General, especially since we took the Centaur Herald at the beginning. Hopefully help out our tokens. So that's 2 Selesnya cards. Risen Sanctuary, you might think that's Selesnya, but 5, you got 7 mana for that. It's not really going to do us. With the 8/8, it's fine, but if it's not getting through, it's not doing anything for us. Seek the Horizons, too slow. Trade Caracal is not great, but it's a threat on the board. Not really many great cards here, so let's look at this. We got a Combat Trick, great Combat Trick in Swift Justice, decent removal and Aerial Predation, even though it's specific. But we're going to take one of the better Combat Tricks and take that Swift Justice, +1, First Strike, and Lifelink. Pretty good in our deck, so we're going to take that. Ignore Guild Feud. Xanakiv Locust is decent for scavenging, costs 6 though. Hussar Patrol is okay for us. We might be looking at that. Pretty good card. Not exactly in our colors, but we could splash blue for it. Ignore Terrace Worm. Inspiration's not going to help us. Drudge Beetle can help us. It's in our colors, even though it's a scavenge card. 2/2 for 2 we could play. Double Stone Fair Crocodile definitely could help us out. 3/2 for 3, not bad. Giant Growth is pretty good removal. Great removal in this set, actually. And I can see why we would take that. Our Eyes in the Sky is great cards. But I do think that we want to get those creatures out. I prefer the aggressive Selesnya deck, so we're going to get the creatures out early, so we're going to go with the Drudge Beetle. Heroes Reunion, terrible card, ignoring that. Dispel actually is very, very playable, but not in our deck. Another Hussar Patrol. We're gonna let the Azorius guys take that. I'm not in love with Guild Gates, but Selesnya Guild might help us, and there's nothing really great for us here, so it's between the Hussar Patrol and the Selesnya Guild Gate. We already passed a Hussar Patrol, so don't think we really want to take that, so we'll go ahead and take a Guild Gate here. Why not? Shrieking Affliction's unplayable. Dispel, again, is decent. A lot of people don't like Doorkeeper, but I do, just not in this deck. So it really comes down to 2 combat tricks here, Common Bond and Rootborn Defenses. Rootborn Defenses can be just an utter killer move, but we're not going to pass up the Common Bond, which is a great combat trick like Rootborn Defenses, but it also is permanent and gives our guys the 2 counters. So take Common Bond there. Dryad Militant's great for our deck. We definitely want to get on the board early. We want to get that power in there, get some hits in. So definitely get that Dryad Militant, see what else is in the pack. Nothing really for us. Cobblebrook can do some damage, but nothing in our colors. So we're going to take that Dryad Militant, go a little quick, try to get that pressure on the board early. Nothing Dark Revenant, Dispel again, lots of Dispels in this. This comes down to basically another Swift Justice, pretty decent combat trick, or the Sundering Growth, which we can sideboard in to blow up some more enchantments, but we're not really going to do that. So we're going to take the Swift Justice here, get that combat trick in there. Looks like we're back to pick one again. Ignore that stuff. Not really great here. Selesnya Guildgate passed, but we're going to get the bird, Cellar Songbird. It's not the most amazing card, but hey, 9th pick, table, gives us a bird. Definitely take that, get on the board early. We shouldn't be expecting much here. You could take the Axebane Stag. You could get there late, but if we take the Guildgate, it opens up some blue for us, so we're actually going to take the Guildgate here. Risen Sanctuary, not a great card. Mizium Skin, downsize, not exactly what we're looking for. I could see an argument for any of these cards. An Action Injunction could help us, but yeah, I mean, any of these cards really work, but we're just going to take the Sanctuary. I doubt we're going to play it, but we'll take it. I don't think we're going to play any of those cards. Skull Ram we're not playing, Inspiration we're not playing, but we'll definitely play the Stonefair Crocodile, so glad that passed. Heroes Union, no, we're not taking that. Even downsize is better than that, so we'll pick up that. Shrieking Inflation's last card, unplayable. And we'll pick up a land. All right, so let's review real quick. We got Guildgate, Selesnya, and Azorius. If we need them, we're not going to play the Sanctuary. Pretty fast, Dryad Militant. Got a Common Bond, Stonefair Crocodile, Drudge Beetle, Centaur's Herald, Double Swift Justice, Cellar Songbirds, Phantom General. So we want some tokens, and we want some early threats. So let's see. Collective Blessing. Look at that. I guess we got lucky. Always scroll down and see what else is in the pack. Giant Growth, Knightly Valor, Augur Spree is good for the Rakdos deck, but there's no way we're passing Collective Blessing. You know, I hate throwing the word bomb around, but when you drop this out there, oh man, it makes damage on the board. So we're going to take that Collective Blessing. Lots of good choices here. Let's see what we got. Horncrawler's Chant, we're not playing. Ethereal Armor, we're not playing. Rumbleback Rhino, we're not playing. Comes down to a second Dryad Militant or the Selesnya Charm or Eyes in the Skies. Both Dryad Militant and Eyes in the Skies are definitely playable for us, but Selesnya's Charm is it can just do so many things. It's removal, it gives us a token, gives us a combat trick, pretty much anything we need. So we're definitely taking the Charm there. Look at this, second Phantom General. Soul Tithe isn't bad. Keening Apparition isn't bad to get in for a sideboard. Another Seller of Songbirds. Selesnya Sentry can do some damage early, but double Phantom General, sure, I'll take it. We can ignore the top line. You could do Axebane Guardian here. It's not really what we're trying to do. We're trying to be more aggressive than this, but it's not the worst. Hussar Patrol, not really what we're trying to do, although we do have that Azorius Guildgate. Maybe Hussar Patrol. Celestial Scorpion we're not trying to do. Transguild Promenade we could if we want to open up, but I'm not really trying to be slow. I want to get our threat on the board early and get our opponent on the heels. So I'm actually going to take the Chorusomite here. Not as good a card as the other ones, but for what we're trying to do, we can definitely use that to our advantage. We'll take the Chorusomite there. Dark Revenant, Shrieking Affliction, not really playable. Stonefair Crocodile, again, an early threat, but if you scroll down, you see another Chorusomite, Concordia Pegasus. Those are all kind of equal to the Stonefair Crocodile, but there's no way we're passing on this Centaur Healer. 3/3 for 3, plus the gaining of the 3 life. Definitely what we want to be doing. Oak Street Innkeeper, quick funny story about that. Not really playable, but I actually did play it against somebody, and it turns out that as I was playing this person, he had attacked me, and I was waiting to Paralyze Grasp one of his guys, put the Paralyzing Grasp down, and said, you know what? Your tapped creature has hexproof, so it did actually matter, but not really a playable card, not what we're looking for. We go down, Cross the Monitor is not bad, 3/3 for 4, but double green. Axebane Stag we're not going to get to, another Guildgate, but for sure we're going to take this early token, get Centaur Sailed out there, no doubt about it. Stonefair Crocodile, threat on the board. This is actually a tough choice. None of these cards are great, but we can get the 3/2 for 3, get that threat on the board. We can get the sideboard Sundering Growth, which gives us the Destroy Enchantment or Artifact and Populate. That could help us. Or we get Druid's Deliverance, which prevent all combat damage we dealt to you, and then Populate. Not a great card, but actually works for us. We can populate our tokens. It helps us with a combat trick, especially if we're going to be aggressive and trying to do some damage early. I think we'll take that. Ignore Psychic Spiral, not really what we're looking for here. Selesnya Guildgate, Transguild Promenade, both of those will be fine. I'm actually going to take the threat, though. I'm going to take Dramatic Rescue, even though it's white-blue. We do have the Azorius Guildgate if we want to play it, and could help us, so we're going to take that. Aqua Steed is terrible. Seek the Horizon we could use, but we're not trying to ramp. We're trying to get early pressure on the board. Air Predation is decent removal, but there's no way we're passing on this Giant Growth. One of the better removals for us, one of the better combat tricks, so we're going to take that. And look at that, the Dryad Militant passed around to us. We're definitely going to be taking that one. Rollback Rhino, Ethereal Armor, Horncrawler's Chant, you can make arguments for all of those. A little bit slower than we want to go, and the Ethereal Armor, we don't really have other enchantments to play with other than Collective Blessing, so probably not going to be taking that here. Not over our 2/1 threat for 1. Definitely get that early threat on the board. Get our opponents on our heels and knock them away. Here, we're not going to do the Grizzly Salvage or the Treasured Find, so we can sideboard in Keening App to destroy an enchantment if they have one, or we could do Selesnya Sentry and get that power on the board. Selesnya Sentry is probably better for us, but I think we have a lot of early threats, which is what we want to do, so we're going to take this Keening Apparition, maybe if they have some amazing enchantment we need to get rid of. And look at that Hussar Patrol passed. That's funny. I guess people don't really like that card in this draft, so could take the Promenade, could take the Scorpion, but we're going to take the Hussar Patrol, maybe play it if we're going with that Azorius route. Shrieking Affliction's unplayable, Search Warrant's unplayable. Neither of those matter. Which one is more likely playable? Probably the Shrieking Affliction. Doesn't matter, we'll take that. Axebane Stag, sure, we're not going to play it, but why not? And then finish up with the Plains. Okay, so after Pack 2, we're looking pretty decent. We got Centaur Healer, Collective Blessing, Common Bond, a double Dryad Militant, Selesnya Charm, double Centaur's Herald, a couple combat tricks, Drudge Beetle, Giant Growth, Stonefair Crocodile, Sailor Songbirds, and double Phantom General. So we got that early threat on the board, we got some tokens, we got the Phantom Generals, we got the Collective Blessing. We're looking pretty solid here. So we're not really looking for anything in particular here. Maybe a Call of the Conclave, maybe something else we can use, but we're pretty happy so far after 2 packs. Luxodon Smiter. Look at that. Luxodon Smiter. and didn't even need it, but that's pretty awesome. So great card. 4/4 for 3, can't be countered. Great card. Definitely going to be taking that. Fencing Ace is pretty decent for us too. We can get the Common Bond on there. Great with Collective Blessing. That double strike, that could be a serious play for us, but we're not going to pass the Smiter for that. Removal in Tristani's Judgment, Seller of Songbirds again, but again, great cards. Maybe one of these will table. Maybe the Seller of Songbirds or the Keening Apple table. We'll see. But we're taking the Smiter. Heroes Reunion unplayable. Crovod's not what we're looking to do. August Priest pretty good, but now we're not going to do that. Concordia Pegasus. All right, so here's an interesting choice. So Common Bond helps us a lot. Fencing Ace helps us a lot. Both of these are pretty playable. Both of them are very good. Can't go wrong with either one of these, but I'm going to take the double strike because of the combat tricks we have, because of the Common Bond we already have, and because of the Collective Blessing. That double strike could come into play. Okay. Let's see what we have here. We can ignore anything that's not in our colors. So basically, it comes down to a Savage Surge, a combat trick, not the best combat trick, but something we can use. Removal in Tristani's Judgment and Populate. And Rubbleback Rhino, Hexproof, not bad, 3/4. But really, we don't have a ton of removal other than combat tricks, and Tristani's Judgment gives us Populate. So I think we're going to do that. Expensive, but something we can use if we need to. All right, Judge is familiar. 1/1 flyer, we can pay the white for it. Okay, not the greatest, but if we needed to, probably not going to play it. Avenging Arrows, removal, we have to take damage. You can chump block or you can block with it, but, it's definitely decent. Giant Growth, great combat trick. I wouldn't mind having a second one of these, but here's our choice for sure. Knightly Valor, it seems expensive, and it's a creature enchantment, but you get a 2/2 white knight with vigilance for it, and it gives your creature +2/+2 in vigilance. Imagine that on our Fencing Ace with double strike. We're definitely going to take the Knightly Valor here. All right, Crovad, not great. Not great other cards. We have a Long Legs we can play. A 5/4 for 5, double green. We could do that, not bad. Druid's Deliverance, we could do another combat trick and populate. Sundering Growth, we could do for sideboard. So you're fine with Long Legs or Druid's Deliverance. Long Legs is probably the better pick. But you also want the populate. I think we're going to go ahead and take the Long Legs here. Either one is probably fine for your deck, but we'll take the Long Legs just to kind of finish out our curve at the top if we don't draw Collective Blessing or anything else. All right, so this one comes down to, let's see, Concordia Pegasus, Eyes in the Sky, Selesnya Sentry. Selesnya Sentry would probably be our second pick, but Eyes in the Skies gives us populate and a bird if we need a token. For some reason we can't get any of the others, especially with double Phantom General. Our flyers could be awesome with Collective Blessing too. Tons of ways to pop up our tokens, so definitely taking the Eyes in the Skies there. Staticaster's not a bad card, but not for us. Swift Justice, I think we already have one or two of those, so we could take a third one. Another Hussar Patrol, but I think we're going straight Selesnya this time, so we'll go ahead and take the Swift Justice. Pretty good combat trick. Here's Union not playable. Another Hussar Patrol. I've never seen this many in a draft, but we're going to take that Long Legs, get that 5/4 on the board. All right, so this is the first pack again, I believe, or the first pick again. Sideboard Sundering Growth, Seller of Songbirds, Vassal Soul, Keening App. We already have the Keening App to side in. Vassal Soul's double white. Seller of Songbird gives us a bird token, which we can populate, we can pump up. Lots of different things we can do. We can take that Seller of Songbirds. Heroes Union's unplayable. Look at that, the Common Bond passed. Awesome. We get the Fencing Ace and the Common Bond. Ringleader, no. Nothing here in our colors. So absolutely nothing we would take here. So is there anything we don't want to face against? Nobody's going to play the Ringleader. Maybe the Tenement Crasher, but really what people are most likely going to play out of this is probably the downside of the Tenement Crasher. Let's get that downsize. We don't want people to be combat tricking against us. Let's get that out of there. Again, nothing in our colors. You could do the Promenade, but we're just going to play straight Selesnya colors. So we don't really need it. Shred Freak could hurt us early, so we're going to get that out of there. Search Warrant's unplayable. Centering Growth, we've passed this a couple times, so we'll take that for a sideboard. Populates and destroys enchantment, so we'll take that. Lastly, Chronic Flooding, don't even worry about it. And then our land, Plains, look at that, sounds good. All right, so we got a pretty good deck here. We might have to cut down, actually. So let's definitely go with what we want first. So no doubt we're playing the Collective Blessing. Oh, sorry, let's build our deck first. Build our deck. All right, no doubt we're taking the Collective Blessing, for sure. Definitely taking the Centaur Healer, probably taking both Common Bonds, probably taking both Dryad Militants. We'll take one Long Legs for now, maybe cut that out. Definitely take the Smiter. Definitely take this Selesnya Charm. We'll sideboard in the Growth. Definitely take in one of the Centaur Heralds. Let's put both in there. I don't know if we need to play the Judge Beetle. We might not need to, so we'll pass on that for now. We'll definitely take the Giant Growth. Let's come back to these creatures. we're going to take the Fencing Ace. We're going to take the Eyes in the Skies. We'll sideboard in the Keening Apparition. We're going to play the Valor. Definitely going to play both Phantom Generals. Cell of Songbirds isn't as good as these other creatures, but, it gives us a bird, too, which, the way we have our tokens and our pump, we might want that. So we'll take that. Sure, we'll take the removal in Tristani's Judgment. We'll take one of the Swift Justices. What does that leave us at? So that puts us at 20. So we have 3 more cards to play out of these. Let's see, 3 more cards to play. So we already have 1 Long Legs. I don't think we need another. We're probably going to look at early pressure on the board. So probably going to play either the Drudge Beetle or the Stonefair Crocodile. So let's play the Drudge Beetle, actually, and the Stonefair Crocodile. Why not? Go 2, that gives us 22, so we need 1 more. You do another Cell of Songbirds, get the birds out, possibly, but I don't think so. Druid's Deliverance, Swift Justice. Druid's Deliverance helps us populate, so I think we're going to take that, but plenty of options here. You could switch out 3 or 4 of those cards, it would probably be good. No reason to play the Azorius Guildgate, but we could probably play a Selesnya Guildgate just to make sure we don't get mana screwed, so we'll take the Guildgate in there. That'll put us at 24. If we want to do our lands here, we have 16 lands. Doesn't look like we have much double white. We have just a little bit of double green in the long legs. The rest of it doesn't really matter. We probably split it right down the middle with 16. You could go 8-8. You'd be fine with that. Maybe if you want the long legs, you go 9-7. So we'll probably go 9 green, 7 white. But 8-8 would be fine as well. Actually, look, you have the double green here, and it's not double white in Collective Blessing, so you definitely want to go more green. So we're going to go 9 green, 9 forests, and 7 plains. Pretty good Selesnya deck there. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day.